Okay, am I there? Yeah, after 60 seconds. I'm going to be there in a minute. And it's going to work fine. I know, I realize I'm not at all worried about the content. I'm worried about all the technology. So silly. Oh. Um, Google Docs. Ooh, Google Docs. Are you? Can you see me? Oh. I can hear you. Am I on the page now? Am I on the web page talking a minute earlier? That's that, that's the way it's supposed to be.
Hello.
Oh, great. Bye.
Hold on. Can you hear me?
I can hear you perfectly.
Okay.
So we're good. Hi.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm good. It's cold here.
Is it cold?
Yeah.
It's a beautiful day in Chico. The leaves are really pretty.
Yeah, it is. They're turning here too.
So Joy isn't going to be saying anything. And the
Okay.
only reason she's on there, do you have the group chat over to the right of the screen open?
No, hold on.
Okay, if you put your cursor over on the left, you have the top one, it's a blue square with a
I
pointer.
see it.
And click
Oh,
on
there it
that.
is.
And then over here, Joy will put in comments from the chat roll that's going on that we're not going to be looking at.
Okay.
You'll be looking at.
Dude, I got weird light on my face. Hold on. Let me turn on more light.
I know you have to get front lighting.
Right. That's, well,
That's side lighting.
that's weird.
I know, you look like you're the Tin Man.
Yeah. Hold on. But see, that's just like... Oh, wait a minute. It might be... Hold on.
That's pretty good right there. That's good.
I think the closer I get to the camera, the more...
The screen goes like this. I have to take my glasses off. So I printed out our Google Doc. So
I did too.
Okay. And then I printed out the handout too, even though we're not actually, well, I'm going to be looking at it while everybody's looking at it.
I don't know if I printed that out.
How are you feeling about the content?
Okay, I wish Beth were with us.
Yeah, she couldn't come, but when I was doing the timing, this is fine.
Mm-hmm.
And
fine. So Robin, she's going to go first?
Robin's going to go first.
Okay.
Yep. Get my stuff. I'm also I'm gonna run and get some water. Cause I
Yeah, that's probably a good idea. I gotta let my dog in.
Yeah.
Come on. Yeah, see, that's a glare on my forehead. No.
Good. This is a mug from our writing project in 1995 with a
Oh my word.
Summer Institute. Isn't that weird? I still have it.
Why does it say enhanced? Ooh, I can change my color stuff. Let's see
Yeah.
here. Oh my gosh, no.
Whoa!
No, that's weird.
Yeah.
Spotlight. Ooh, warm, smooth. That's not bad. Original. That's not bad. I'm actually getting glare off the screen.
Are you working with Bo East Tallahatchie also? Or
Yeah,
both?
yeah.
You're working with both.
Right, East Tally and Holly Springs.
In Holly Springs. How are my friends at Holly Springs?
They're pretty good. I'm going there tomorrow, 10th grade, which of course is test prep heaven.
Yeah.
But you know, I'm trying to change
I'm
that.
not on yet. You can say.
Are you going to the symposium tonight? I know you're super busy. Okay. Just seeing if you were.
And the reason is not because I'm super busy.
There's that. Did Jarrett stuff so good? I wish you were seeing it.
I wish I was seeing it
He's the
too.
later one, so you have to like. No, this is good. This is good.
Sorry.
No, that's
It's
okay.
like a week.
No, that's a good thing. I like.
Oh, who's that? Oh, it looks just
This
like
is
a dog.
Pepper.
Oh, I have a dog like that.
You do? A Jack
I
Russell?
do. Same as Jake. He's a rat terrier mix or something.
Uh-huh.
Who's that?
They think he's all Jack Russell, but he's got a tail.
Oh yeah, ours has a tail too. Less hair on the tail though.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think he's part Jack Russell, part rat terrier.
I thought this one was mixed, but
Yeah. Aren't they cute and smart?
they're too smart.
I know, really
He
smart.
was actually a rescue dog
Yeah.
at the Memphis shelter. I saw him online. I had to go get him.
Yeah. So let's see. The only way we know people are here are if they are in the chat.
Okay. So she's going to let us know
Yeah, when to start and everything.
who's here. Okay. This light is still... I'm actually getting glare off the computer screen. Because when I move the chat side out of the way, it's better.
Well, I'll probably be the conduit for the questions from the chat. I'll probably say, someone in our TV audience.
Okay,
I
I'm
should,
going to hide that.
Should I write to Robin?
Yeah.
I don't. If she doesn't come, we're kind of in trouble.
True.
Okay.
We can just read. We'll read what she wrote.
Yeah, we could do that.
How many people RSVP'd?
I don't think we did. We do an RSVP?
I think Joy had one in her email.
Okay. Oh, I forgot to push return here. Oops. What did I just do?
Ooh, I could be black and white.
You could go artistic there. That's called video. That was video bombing.
That was a video bomb. I tried to video bomb.
That was
I'm not
Peter.
very good at it.
That was Peter Kittle.
Hi.
Hi.
I want to intrude. I promise.
What was I doing? I was emailing Robin.
Mm-mm.
Do you think guys should email it? I don't know. Okay. Have you looked at what it looks like on the webpage?
No, I haven't. Let me take a look.
Yeah, you have to shut it down afterwards, though, because sometimes it makes horrible feedback.
Ew.
Yeah.
Oh, let me look.
But,
Where are you?
Shut-
There it is.
Right. So go to College Ready Writers Program.
Yeah, I'm there. Under webinars.
Yeah, and then Extended Professional
Oh, there
Development.
it is.
So, I don't know if we're on yet. If you push that button, are we on? Have you looked at what it looks like on the webpage?
Yeah, it's on there.
Yeah, you have to shut it down afterwards, though, because sometimes it makes... Have you looked at what it looks like on the webpage?
No, I haven't.
Okay, we gotta turn this off. Down afterwards, though,
Deja vu. Ooh.
Look at the barber shop.
That's pretty cool.
That delay is, though, so weird.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh. So go to College Ready Writers Program.
Yeah, I'm there. Under webinars.
Yeah, and then Extended Professional
Oh, there it
Development. So, I don't know if we're on yet. If you push that button, are we on? Oh. Why is that making that noise? What it looks like on the webpage?
Yeah, it's on there. Ellen just texted me.
We looked at what it looks like on the webpage. Okay, we gotta turn this off.
Deja vu. Ooh.
What is all that noise?
Where's that coming from? That's pretty cool.
That delay is, though, so weird.
Mm-hmm.
Uh-oh. So go to College Ready Writers Program.
Yeah, I'm there. Under webinars.
Yeah, and then Extended Professional
Why does it
Development.
keep repeating?
So, I don't know. Turn your page off. If your page is on,
It's
turn
off.
it off. Why is that making that noise? Mine's off too.
Yeah, it's on there.
I hope
I
it
keep
doesn't
hearing
go
the same thing
forever.
over and over.
I know.
Ellen just texted me.
We looked at what it looks like on the webpage. We gotta turn this off. I'm gonna
Robin!
what is all that noise?
Where's that coming from? That's pretty cool.
That delay is, so weird.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Turn your page off. If your page is on.
It's off.
Mine's on too.
Yeah, it's on there.
I hope it doesn't go forever.
It keeps.
No.
Ellen just texted me. Come on. Where's that coming from? Ellen said they're not hearing any repeats. Yeah, it's on there. Robin, can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
I asked that like 5 minutes ago.
Hold on. Yeah. Can you hear me?
I asked that like 5 minutes ago.
The delay is beautiful. Did you get the chat and everything?
Okay, now do you hear me? Okay, I can hear you now, Robin. Robin, can you hear me?
perfect.
Quad said.
Good. I went at right after I talked to you and fixed 101. It was not perfect. I hate the way they have that one.
This is already like in tables with 4 chairs around each one.
Yeah, I've done the Gates Grant stuff in there before. I had forgotten that. It is perfect.
I'm gonna go back home again.
Okay. I don't know what's happening. Nobody can hear each other. Mm-hmm.
Well, I saw Kim at leaving when I was pulling up, and I thought, please don't let her see me. Oh,
Ah!
all right, I'm gonna put your door shut.
Okay.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Yeah, I've done the Gates Grant stuff in there before. I forgot that. It is. Okay. I don't know what's happening. Nobody can hear each other.
I can see and hear Robin, but she can't see me.
Okay, thanks. Bye.
Tom, you're muted.
Now I'm not muted.
Okay, I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Uh-huh. Do we have terrible sound? Hi, Robin.
Robin can't hear us.
Oh.
Yeah.
That's bad.
I can hear her moving around, and then Ellen texted me and said she can't see me.
Well.
Can you see me?
I can see you fine, yes. But we need to be able to hear Robin. That's really important.
Well, no, I can hear her, but she can't hear us. Like, I heard her move around and stuff.
Okay.
I don't think she has the group chat open on the side.
So,
This is weird.
Yeah, I know. Well, we have 9 minutes. Did that echoing thing? Robin? You can't hear us, right?
Mm-mm.
I'm just waiting for her to look up at the screen.
Can somebody call her?
Yeah, I'm gonna call her. I hope I have her home number, which I don't really know if I do. I have something here. Yep. Oh, it worked.
Hello?
Hi, Robin.
Hey.
So, you're not muted, right?
I am not muted.
Yeah, I can hear her, but she can't hear us.
You can't hear us.
I cannot. But I have checked all my mic.
So, do you can you see the chat over on the right-hand side?
The right?
Yeah. So, if you take your cursor and you move it on the Google Plus screen, there's at the top there's a little blue box with white lines in it. Click on that, and then you can hear, and then you can see the chat on the right-hand side.
Can she see me?
Can you see Jennifer?
Yeah.
Yes, she
Okay.
can see.
And I see Paul O, so I know things are bad if we've had to bring him in. Tell me again what box to click on.
Okay, so have your cursor on the screen, like in front of my face or something, and to the left there will be a series of colorful icons. The one at the top is blue, and with a little pointer. That opens up your chat area on the right-hand side of your screen. Did that work?
No.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh no.
Paul, do you want to take over?
Hey, yeah. So, so what seems to be the problem?
So Robin just dropped off, so maybe she'll come
Okay.
back on.
Okay.
Robin can't hear us.
So she can, though you can hear her.
Yeah, you just dropped off. Are you coming back up? Because maybe it'll work when you come back up. Start and stop over. Stop and start over.
Yeah, I think, I wonder if, because we can hear, so everyone else on the Hangout can hear each other. Is that right?
Right.
So then I wonder if it is a setting on her computer. It sounds like the microphone is working.
Microphone.
And I wonder if she has the speaker setting with the volume up. Did I hear Robin say that she knows that her computer speakers are not muted?
Do you know that your speakers are not muted? She says she does know that.
Okay. And
Here she
does
comes
Ro-
again. It'll work.
Okay.
So can you hear us now from the screen? Wait.
No.
Okay.
So Robin, are you working from a
Okay,
Mac?
something just popped up on my screen that says, due to the number of participants in this video call, your microphone is muted by default.
What?
That's a normal thing.
But so Tom, are we hearing Robin through her phone? No, we're hearing her through the Hangout on Air. Is that right?
Right. We can hear her. She can't hear us.
And so can you ask Robin, is she using a Mac or is she using a PC?
PC.
Mac.
PC.
Okay, and so when you go down to the lower right corner, is it the lower right corner where there's a little speaker icon of your screen? So usually on a PC, on the lower right corner, there's a little computer speaker, or there's a speaker icon. Can Robin click on that? Can you, Tom, ask Robin to click on that?
So in the lower right-hand corner, there might be a speaker icon, and if you can click on that, that would be good.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And so when you click on that, could you ask Robin what she sees?
What do you see when you click on that?
I see two parallel things. At the top of one of them is some headphones, and at the top of the other looks like a speaker. And at the bottom it says, of each side it says mixer.
Yeah. And so are the levels, is the level for the speakers and the level for the headphones, are they both as high as possible? So Tom, would you mind asking?
As high as possible, the levels.
Yeah.
And so how about does Robin have headphones plugged into her computer?
Do you have headphones plugged into your computer?
No, I don't have any.
No, she doesn't have any.
And typically, like, so if Robin goes to play a YouTube video and just starts playing it, she would be able to hear the sound through her computer?
Normally, if you play a YouTube, you hear the sound.
Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Computer speakers. And the speakers themselves, they often have a volume button, and that's turned up.
The volume button for the speakers themselves is turned up.
All the way.
All the way.
Huh.
Should we, Paul, can we dial her in by phone the way you do on a Hangout?
You can do that, yeah. But the icon will show up as just like a telephone.
But she can leave her picture up there, right?
That's true, actually, yeah. So Robin could leave her picture up, and then, right, exactly. You could invite her into the Hangout by phone.
Okay, so Robin, that's what we're gonna do. So you're gonna have to speak through the phone for us to hear you.
Mm-hmm.
Will she need to then mute her Hangout thing, Paul?
Yeah. So yes. So Robin then should mute her at the top of your screen. At the top of her screen, you know, is that little mute button. So she should mute herself in the Hangout.
Okay. Do you get that, Robin? So Joy's gonna call you on the phone, and in the meantime, you're gonna click on the microphone with the line through it at the top of your screen.
Yes.
And then you will be able to hear and speak through the phone. Is that correct?
Okay.
So that should work.
That should work.
Okay.
Okay?
All right. I'll hang up.
All right. Bye.
Bye.
And then Joy will call you. So you just can't hear us. It just makes me...
Yeah, it's bizarre that
Yeah.
that her microphone be working, but not her speakers.
Yeah. She had it checked out today, too.
Yeah.
Oh,
Do you
tell
see
me-
what
Hey,
Joy
Paul. Joy says it's not giving her a phone option.
Let's see.
Darn.
Sorry about that, you guys. Yeah, I have not really done using the phone before, so...
Usually when you add a person, you have an option.
Right. Right. Hold on. Let's see. I wonder if it's the case that with a Hangout on Air, you cannot...
Can't do that. That's that's a worry.
Oh, you know, actually, the other thing that Robin might try... let's see. You know, microphone. So, so one thing that Robin might try, Tom, if you could communicate this to her by phone. So, do you see at the top of the Hangout window? There's a little gear wheel.
Yeah.
If you click on that, you can see the settings.
Yeah.
Hello.
So one other thing to try. Because phone number wasn't working. See, put your cursor on the screen, and at the top where the mute button is, there's a little cog.
Yeah. Settings.
Click on the cog.
Okay.
And then go to see where it says speaker.
Mm-hmm.
What's that say there?
It just says microphone array.
It doesn't say built-in output or anything.
No.
So yeah, it has built-in eyesight, default device for speaker. Are you in the same place I am?
I wonder if it looks different for a PC.
Default device, speakers, headphones.
Yeah, so under default,
Communication.
under default device, speakers, headphones so when she hits default device, does she see two different Does she see options?
I do. I see 2 choices.
And what are the 2 choices?
What are the 2 choices?
Speakers headphones and communications headphones.
So, and is there one that's chosen right now?
I didn't hear that.
Is there one that is selected?
Is speakers headphones selected?
No, I'll select it now.
Yeah, so select that.
Oh, we're good. I hear you.
Oh, great.
Yay!
Yay, good job. Virtual high five,
Paul.
everyone. This is going to be great.
Thank you, Paul.
Okay, see you guys. Have a great webinar.
Great, thanks.
Bye.
All right.
Yay!
I believe we're ready to start.
Wow.
So I'm going to start. Let me just check with Joy that it's time to start.
It is.
Okay. Hi, everyone. Welcome to the professional development session on thinking about and inquiring into extended professional development. And we had a few moments of technical difficulties, but I think we're all on board now. And before we start, I just want to welcome everybody and thank everybody for their incredibly difficult and rewarding and high-energy work with all of the districts. Talking with our leadership team, the quality and the interesting work that everybody's doing is just amazing. So we're really happy to have you here and happy that the work is proceeding, and hope to see most of you at the annual meeting. On the topic of the annual meeting, make sure that you read carefully the emails coming to you about the series of meetings that we have, and print them out. If you need travel information from Stormy or something, make sure that you got it all. And if you do have questions for us, you can hang on a little bit at the end and write them in the chat after we're done, or write us an email at i3@nwp.org. And remember, you always have a thinking partner to draw upon and work with and help you out if you need some help. So with us tonight, we have Jennifer Ringo from the University of Mississippi Writing Project, and she is the lead teacher consultant for their work in 2 districts, in Holly Springs and East Tallahatchie. And we have Robin Atwood, who is the director of the South Mississippi Writing Project and also heading up in Smith County. Is that correct?
That is correct.
All right. I got the names right. So today's webinar is about planning for extended PD. Frequently, writing projects get a phone call on a Monday afternoon and are expected to show up on a Saturday for a group of teachers or something. Often our work is really fast. And we don't, we always ask for extended time periods because that's the way the writing project works, but it's rare that we get 2 years to work with a site. So this is a new challenge for writing projects, is to continuously plan on this extended multi-session, multimodal way of working with a writing project. So today's session is an inquiry into how people are doing that. And the way we're going to work today is Robin's going to start out by sort of exploring this topic and how it plays out at her site, followed by Jennifer. And then we have an activity after the 2 of them speak that we're going to do, and then come back after the activity and kind of process the activity. For all of you listeners, your way of participation is the chat roll. And we will be, Joy is monitoring the chat roll and will feed us questions and comments from you so that we can be responsive to the kinds of things that you're thinking about and worrying about yourself. So your participation in the chat roll is actually key to the success of this format of of professional development. And we're trying to experiment with more active, participatory ways of doing professional development that go beyond a massive conference call where only a couple of people get to talk. So we're hoping this works for everybody. I know that you'll let us know. So this is a really key topic for all of us, and I'd like to turn it over now to Robin to talk for a few minutes about her thinking and how it plays out at her site. So it's over to you, Robin.
Okay, well, you know, as Tom said, it's not often that we get an opportunity such as this I3 grant to really focus on long-term PD with a partnership with a district. And when a site gets an opportunity for this, it's good in every way, but it also sometimes exposes some weaknesses maybe. As Tom said, we often get calls to come and do workshops or some short-term PD, and all our TCs are really good at that. They've got their bag of tricks, everybody's got a sugar stick, they hit the road, they're ready to go, great activities, teachers love it, love it, love it, love it, want more. And yeah, they do go back to their classrooms, they do some more engaging, integrated literacy type stuff with their kids, but it doesn't really cause that long-term transformational thinking in teachers that we have the opportunity to do with something like the I3 grant, where we have this extended time period over a couple of years. So when a director gets an opportunity like this, you know, you have to make some really smart choices. Of course, your primary consideration is that district, those teachers in the district, the kids in the district, but in the back of your head, you're thinking, okay, how am I going to use this to really build capacity at my site? And so you choose people. You choose people really wisely. You choose people who already have a long-term PD mindset. And then you also kind of fold in some people who don't have that existing paradigm for long-term focused planning toward goals. So when I got the opportunity to participate in this I3 grant, I wanted to involve as many people as possible on the team for a couple of reasons. One reason is we found out very quickly that our district, Smith County, we needed as many boots on the ground as possible to go in there and really improve writing instruction in those classrooms. There was very little writing being done, and so I called all the TCs that I thought could get time off to go, and we came up with this really, really ambitious plan to support these teachers. And of course we have our logic model, we have regular check-in meetings, and I saw really, really quickly that while some of the TCs really have this long-term PD mindset, they always have those goals in mind, other TCs were taking their sugar sticks out there and that bag of tricks and that kind of activity-based approach, and maybe losing sight of those long-term goals and the process approach that we really, really want to instill in these teachers and students toward their work. And if we want to instill that in the teachers and students, we're really going to have to be very mindful that we're modeling that ourselves in our own work. So I'm going to take a breath, and I got lots more to say, but I'll take a breath. And Jennifer, you want to talk a bit?
Yes, ma'am, I can. Again, my name is Jennifer Ringo, and I'm with the University of Mississippi Writing Project out of Oxford in northern Mississippi. It's kind of chilly here, so bear with us. This is kind of new to me as well. I'm fresh out of the classroom, but fortunately our esteemed director, Ms. Ellen Shelton, has vision, and she saw this coming down the pike and prepared for it in some wonderful ways, and I wanted to share that with everyone. I may be the face of the professional development, the one who's showing up in the schools every single time, but behind me lies a huge well of bench, whatever, of amazing talent. The site itself has 26 years of experience, and we're already heavy in secondary presenters, so there's a lot of good talent there. In anticipation of the work, Ellen formed what we call the I3 Dream Team, and it was formed in January of this year. We invited 15 secondary teachers to help support the work and expand our knowledge base. They were handpicked based on their prior experience with long-term PD and their experience with teaching in high-need schools that are similar to the ones we're working with. We meet every couple months to share ideas. We have a dedicated website where we have kind of a remote professional book study. We share ideas and curate ideas, thank you, Tom, for that word, from a variety of professional resources, and we share them. Also on this website, we have a sub-site rather, for posting lesson plans, PD experiences and presentations. It's just a good place to put everything, and we have that resource that's kind of ongoing. So when I wake up in the middle of the night at 3 a.m. worried about what I'm going to be doing, I can go look there and get some fresh ideas. Because I'm the full-time TC, it's with 100% of my time dedicated to this work. I'm becoming the expert in the districts. It's sort of built-in continuity. However, additional TCs are involved regularly with the workshops just to keep expanding that knowledge and building the relationships and sharing all our experience as well. Like Robin said earlier, we always have to keep the end in mind. I think the preparation we had with the spring meeting and the summer meeting it was just hugely beneficial, especially designing that logic model with the input from the districts. So we keep that front and center. We just recently had another touch base meeting with administration in Holly Springs, and we reviewed the logic model because that's kind of our guiding plan. Of course, it'll change. The whole thing's rather organic, but by and large, we have the end goal that will not change. And
so could I ask you a little bit about that, the way it changes? Because I had the great fortune of being there and watching you work a little while, knowing that that wasn't originally what you were going to do.
Right.
So talk about sort of how to be responsive to your new developing knowledge about where the teachers are at the school, and keep in mind sort of a trajectory of work, because that's what you talked about.
We we did the needs assessment, which gave us a slice of information, but until you actually get there and spend time in the classrooms, in the hallways, in the cafeteria, I mean, really getting to kind of be a fly on the wall, so to speak, and watch what's going on, until you actually do that, you don't get an accurate picture, I think, of what's really happening. To Tom's point, we were all gung-ho about, hey, argument writing, yay, and they just kind of, it was like a wall of blank stares. So we had to back up and adjust and find out where they were. It's just like a student. You have to find out where they are and meet them there, and then kind of pull them to where you want them to be. So yeah, flexibility is key.
Yeah. Good. Thank you. Robin, you have similar experiences, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Jennifer's word, organic. It's you always have to keep that in mind. It's a like a grassroots, homegrown type
living,
thing.
breathing thing.
Yeah, and there's a lot of while the end goals are set, there's a whole lot of what I call improvisational artistry.
Mm-hmm.
So there's a science, and then there's a really real art to this. It's like a dance. I always think about Rosenblatt's theory: the reader, the poem, and the dance. And this whole situation is like a text that we're reading. Smith County is a text, and it's a situation that it's not a set situation. We have to make meaning with that text, and it's like a dance.
It's a great analogy.
Yeah.
And also, Tom, we're dealing with two pairs of districts, and the districts are, if you look at the demographics, they're pretty much the same size, the same racial makeup, little towns, rural communities, what have you. But again, that's on paper. And one size doesn't fit all. I mean, what I've done in Holly Springs with our workshops every other Friday, I couldn't just take that and administer it or give it in East Tallahatchie, because the faculty's different, the students are different, the communities are different. And again, until you get in there and really spend some time, you don't know that. One thing we've run into is newness of faculty. At Holly Springs, we've got some brand new teachers, and they're having trouble with classroom management. So you kind of have to work in and out and around that too.
Yeah.
So different districts, you have to treat them differently, obviously.
Right. So Robin, why don't I turn it over to you, and then we'll give people some time to work with what you've shared with us. For those of you listening, there's a handout that you can download. It may have been, if you picked up your email, you may have got it in your email. It's an attachment. But also on the web page, down at the bottom, there's a handout that you can download, and we're gonna work with that. But Robin, I invite you first to kind of explain how this think sheet came about, and what its purpose is, and sort of how you put it together, why.
Yeah, so the conversation that Jennifer and I just had about the whole idea of, we have set static goals, but we want to give people, TCs, teachers, and Smith County students, whoever they are, some ownership over their work, flexibility to improvise and back up and try new things, and yet we do have to keep our mind on those end goals all the time. So I was really struggling as a site leader to get, just a couple of people on our team to really, when they reflected on their work and reported on their work to the rest of us, to do it in more specific terms rather than global generalizations. And, we're trying to get our students to focus on evidence-based writing, evidence-based answers. So I kind of came up with this idea, and I think Sherry Kinkoff may be over on the chat roll, and when she sees this think sheet, she's going to remember how it evolved. It didn't look like this initially. So it's a real organic document that grew from our needs and adapted to our needs all along the way. And I really have a real almost religious opposition to a graphic organizer type approach. I really like to pose questions that allow people to think through and to reach conclusions, to broaden thinking rather than narrow it, if that makes sense. And so
your form does that beautifully, by the way.
Thank you. I hope so.
Little graphics, yes.
Yeah, and it's gone through multiple iterations, believe me. So I created this think sheet that is sort of grounded in the logic model, and it's got an evidence-based approach, but it doesn't. I hope it does. I tried to make it so that it doesn't narrow thinking, but that it broadens it. So you think through these questions, and then you're like, okay, what are all the ways that I can get there? So, it's not like I am saying, here's what you need to do, or any other TC is saying, here's what you need to do. Every member of the team has some ownership over their own work, just like we want the teachers and the students to have that ownership, and yet the goals are set. I've said that over and over and over, but there's just that fine tension, that balance that it's really hard to strike, and you have to keep yourself calibrated at all times, and yet not take that reductionist approach where you break things up into so many parts that it's the whole is so much less than the sum of its parts.
Right.
So the think sheet is sort of a reflective tool for our TCs. We get a lot of really good information from it that informs the work going forward. Right. And anytime you're dealing with a really, really large team, sometimes it's like herding cats, and which is a good thing. You can bounce things off each other. A lot of good brains there, but it has its ups and downs. So this serves to keep us focused, but not to rope us in, if that makes sense, because I am so opposed to anything that does that. So there you have it.
One of the categories in your think sheet is recalibration, and we got a question from the chat, Jennifer. It's for you. And it's really how, what it was that you recalibrated. What was the example of how you sort of changed your daily plan while still honing to the goals?
Well, as Robin is finding out with her district, there wasn't a lot of writing happening in the classrooms. For whatever reason, they just, I know our districts are still caught between two curriculums with the state tests, and administration wants those scores up. So if it's not going to help the test scores, they don't think writing will do that, which of course it will. Well, I needed to find some ways to get them more comfortable with writing in the classroom, and I again just take that step back and start small. When you start talking about claims and evidence and what have you, they got a little intimidated. But I did a presentation I called low stakes writing. Right. Just some ways to get them to layer in some writing, and maybe that admin wouldn't notice in between all the test prep that the kids were writing. So
yeah, thank you. That helps.
That's kind of what we did. Great.
Okay. Good. I want to, when we get a thing from the chat, I want to make sure that we address it so that people know it truly is responsive to what they're asking and saying. So, Robin, do you have more to say about this sheet? This is what you actually use with your leadership team, correct?
Yes, absolutely.
So here's for directors or leaders, people could just take this and bring it into their own leadership team, adapt it as needed.
Yeah, adapt as needed.
As needed.
Yeah.
Because every place is different. We understand that.
Yeah.
But what we thought we would do right now, one of the questions we asked ourselves as we were planning this was, how could this hour for everybody be the most helpful hour possible? And the answer that we gave each other was, well, it'd be really great if people could get some work done. So we thought that we would actually take 15 minutes right now, and for you guys to go through this handout, and especially read through how it's organized. I think one of the really great things you do is the aggregate, reductionism, holism, the way you've defined the terms, and then really the progress check, starting at number 4, is like, so how are you coming with all of this stuff? So if we could spend everybody in the TV audience and spend till 4:45, really working with this document and seeing what it does for you, how it helps you think about the work, how it might help your colleagues on your team develop sort of this extended mindset that Robin was talking about at the beginning. And if you finish early, go ahead and write that in the chat, and if everybody's done early, then we'll come back and talk about what your experiences were. So we're taking a break now. Those of us on the screen.
Oh, I'm going to fill out my sheet.
You're going to fill out your sheet. Okay, great.
So am I, of course.
All right. I'll do it for the whole I3.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we have about 15 minutes left for our session, and I'm really curious to hear what everybody who's been working with the think sheet feels about its usefulness, how it might help them, how it might have helped their thinking just doing it on the spot. So the next part comes from you guys. So if you have a question or a comment, please write it in the chat room, and then we'll take it up. Robin and Jennifer will take it up. So how did that go? What did you think of the different categories, and how did it help to look at the specific goals on this sheet are from their logic model from South Mississippi. So you would insert your own, but there was a lot of common areas. So I wonder how that worked for you.
They're speechless. It's the graphics, Robin.
Yeah, those thermometers.
So from Sherry Kinkoff, it helped her focus on the goals of the project. Mm-hmm. So one of the ways, Robin, that you may have seen this work is that sense of focus, because that's one of the things that can happen is, you got a session coming up, you do what you're good at.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But if you can really hone in on those goals.
Yeah, and the other thing is, because we are being so responsive to the teachers, I mean, all the sites involved, that's what we do. We're responsive to needs of teachers. And yeah. So, and we're also in districts where the teachers really are needy. So, for example, when Jennifer talked about the classroom management struggles, I mean, we have, our Smith County teachers will tell us about, I mean, there we are right there on site. So they want to ask us about everything in the world. Yeah. And it has nothing to do with the I3 goals. And so, if you're trying to be really responsive, you might find that 6 weeks go by and you have just really helped them focus on how to choose good literature, which has nothing to do with the I3 goals. So that's why I keep talking about this balance between responsiveness and calibration.
That's great. Yeah. So another really good question from Heather was about, she said she really appreciated the what is your evidence part. Mm-hmm. And that, I wonder how that goes. Like when people fill that out, what kinds of things do they say? What is your evidence? What do they draw upon?
Well, that is a part that was not on the think sheet in its original form. It would be just what is our progress toward this particular goal, and that's where all the general type things came in. So I added the part, what is your evidence? Yeah. And so in many cases, the TCs would say, oh, well, I really thought we were making progress, but I don't really have any evidence of that. Mm-hmm. Or so when the evidence piece is thrown in, then when you're doing a coaching session or talking on the phone to your Smith County teacher that you're thinking partnering with, you can say, well, are you using mentor text? Which mentor text are you using?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so are you modeling? So instead of, oh yeah, I'm modeling, well, tell me how you're modeling. Mm-hmm. And so then the reports become so much more, not just based on the logic model, because our conversations were always based really, on the logic model, but just throwing that little evidence piece in there just it keeps us all so much more focused.
It seems like it has like two effects. One is for when you come back as a group and assess the project and how it's going and everything. But it might also have like a formative effect, where when you're out there, yeah, go ahead. You know,
yeah, and really that's the I really felt that was what was missing for us, was this formative piece. That
excellent.
Yeah. Thanks for throwing that in there, because really that was the whole genesis of it, is that I just realized that I'd get frustrated that maybe we're not really focused on the goals, and I realized, well, we don't really have any sort of formal mechanism to keep us focused, and so we needed that formative piece built in there.
Awesome. That's great. Okay, here's another one. Let me see. Marty talked about the questions, helping her reflect on progress, and helping with the sequential connected planning with workshop, mentor text, close reading, then argument. That's exactly the purpose, right?
Would you say that again?
So Marty Rhymes talks about, she wrote in the chat how it helps her reflect, that as she did the sheet, it helped her reflect on the practice, and really she can see it as helping their site plan their work in sequential and connected fashions.
Yeah, because you would maybe tend to, as I said before, whether it was being responsive to the teacher or whether that's what I as a TC am most comfortable with, we tend to kind of get stuck in one stage of the process. And it's not always because the teachers aren't ready to move on. Sometimes it's just we lose sight of all the different steps, for lack of a better word.
Right. All right, I had something from somebody that was interesting. Oh, somebody said that this is like an argument itself, because you make claims. You make claims about a particular state of things, and then you have to have evidence to support it. So it's actually pretty interesting. And Beth wrote in that one of the things that's helpful about this is that it both focuses on the steps you take and the goals at the same time. So it sort of is local and global, or small and large at the same time, which is the challenge of this kind of work, is that you do have even an hour to plan, or 3 hours to plan, or a single day to plan, but you're also planning a 2-year program. That's the challenge. I think this sheet is really brilliant in the way it's able to do that.
Well, you didn't mention Casey. I'm looking at the chat roll too, actually, and Casey says that it brings us back to the capacities of the literate individual. And Casey, I actually did use that document. It's on page 7 of the Introduction to the Common Core, and they list those 7 capacities of a literate individual, and I used that as to undergird my thinking to plan this. So I'm really glad that you saw that, the little that in the background there.
Good. Okay, we're about 5 minutes away for the end, and we could take a question or a comment or two if you still have one. And then we're going to wrap it up. People are thinking about the time period that for a while 2 years seemed like a long time. It's starting to feel like a much shorter time.
Yeah.
But as somebody said, we're a quarter of the way, coming up to a quarter of the way through, and it's about time we're in it. Preparing for it. So there's both a. Because there's a little pressure there.
I really do wish Beth could tell her radish story, though.
I know.
I wish you were here.
Well.
Yeah.
We just for those of you, Beth Reimer is really integral to the co-planning of this, and so we worked, and she did tell a story about planting radishes, but I can't retell it exactly.
Well, what she said was, and it goes along with what's happening, a lot of the things I'm looking at on the chat roll, the conversation about, yeah, we do have a lot of time, but yeah, we're a quarter of the way through, and yeah, but we do have a lot of time, but yeah, but we're a quarter of the way through. And so she told the story about how one year she was planting her radishes, and she really didn't have time to prepare the soil and to really think about the spacing and all of that. So she just threw the seeds out. And the radishes came up, and it seemed so successful. Just like when you're called to do a staff development session, and you throw together some great activities, and you throw them out there, and it seems so successful because the teachers really love it. But she said that when she pulled the radishes up, they really weren't healthy, flourishing radishes. They looked like radishes, but the root system was not well developed. They were skinny. They didn't really look all that palatable.
They were crowded.
So yeah. So it's a really great analogy.
So you can remember the radish analogy, everyone.
Absolutely, I loved it.
We don't want skinny, crowded radishes.
Right.
So from here on out, we are going to put together resources that people mentioned on the chat. There were several. And I also posted in the comments down below on the webinar page a really relevant and coherent with what we just talked about article by Kim Lanza from NWP at Rutgers that talks about their extended work with partners. So you can go back to those as you feel moved. And then the last thing is we're going to send out a sort of feedback form to everybody. We're really hoping to make these professional development occasions interesting, involving, and helpful to your work. So we would appreciate your feedback on how this went for you and how it helped you. And I want to thank Robin and Jennifer especially for your really hard work thinking about how this might go. Getting the technology working, which was a challenge in itself. But I want to thank you both for being such gracious members of the community.
Thank you.
So people are going to post their own resources. All right. So thank you, everyone. And we're going to sign off now. Have a good evening.
Okay.
All right. Bye.
Bye.